Hello, adventurers and DMs of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance. Welcome to my Spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into the second entry of our combat series. Today we're going to be taking a look at surprise, which is technically the first step in actually engaging in combat. It's an interesting mechanic. I really like how it plays out. I think a lot of people misuse it, at the very least misunderstand it. There's a lot more to it than one might initially suspect. One could say it's surprising. So I couldn't resist. Let's take a look at what exactly is surprise. The surprising members get an extra round to act before the surprised members can take a turn. Pretty simple in theory. A lot of DMs generalize it, but I'll get into that in a little bit. How is surprise determined? The key component to a surprise round is stealth. If neither party is trying to be stealthy, they automatically notice each other, thus negating the surprised round. That's something that I've messed up on as a DM a bunch of times. If stealth is in play, the DM compares the stealth roll of the hiding party to the passive perception of the unsuspecting party. The characters or monsters who didn't notice the threat are surprised. And this applies the same rules as attackers. So the stealthing party is technically considered attackers. So if it's a tie, the stealthing party is considered to win. So you can see why that happens more times than not. Of course, this can be circumvented by actually making active perception checks. That's a good way around this, but it has to be stated. Monsters don't get surprised just for the lulz. There has to be some mechanical stealth in play, otherwise they immediately notice each other. That's just how 5e works. You're considered to have almost this 360-degree kind of view on the world. It's really kind of funny how they did it, but it makes sense when you're actually playing the game. So just please bear that in mind, and whoever gets the surprise gets basically a full round to act before the surprised members do. What's also really interesting, and this is what I meant with a lot of DMs, they generalize, just because a couple of the party members failed the surprise check doesn't mean they all did. So it's possible to have a surprise round where only half of the surprised members can't do anything, which is really interesting. I've never inherently played with that kind of game, but technically by raw it's the way it's supposed to be done, so just bear that in mind. That being said, let's take a look at my thoughts on it. I really love the surprise mechanic. I think it's one of the cooler ones in 5e. I know it's been in previous editions as well, but in 5e it's my favorite part of DMing combat. At least in terms of the mechanical structuring of how combat's ran. So I really like it. I'd take full advantage of it. Even as a party, I'd take full advantage of it. This is kind of the benefit of the rogue staying behind, making those passive perception checks, or the bard, or whatever has the highest passive perception. There's good ways to incorporate this in marching order as well. It's also a good reason to kind of always state that you're stealthing, just so if you do run into a party of just trash mobs, you can usually, more times than not, get the jump on them. And one free round makes a huge difference, especially if you're a paladin and you're going to use a smite, or you're an assassin. There's just a lot of really good ways to do this. That being said, guys, I just want to take a moment to thank our patrons, Marcos G. Guzman Jr. and Reina. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. I really do appreciate the support. And we do the daily live streams every day from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Sometimes life gets in the way, but for the most part, we always try and do them. And if you like that cool-looking Warforged and you'd like your own hand-drawn picture of your own D&D character, please check out our Patreon videos to figure out exactly how to do that. That being said, thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day, and as always, happy adventuring.